really doing a, sort of a look at all of the albums. We're actually playing a little bit of Revelation. We play a song from Revelation, a song from the Eclipse album. And then, we do a smattering of just about all the albums, Infinity, Escape, Frontiers. So we kind of, we probably have a 35 song, rotating thing we can change. We'll change a ballad out and do this one and that. But we have our dirty dozen that we play, that people want to hear.
I think the whole story with your current lead singer is kind of interesting and unusual, that you found him through YouTube, and he's from the Philippines. So had you looked everywhere else for a singer before you came across him, or how did that all work out?
We had started looking at YouTube because we didn't want the usual CD thing and the packages that come in and they could be doctored. We didn't know. Right. So we looked on YouTube because we thought it was a little more viral and raw, and at the time was kind of innovative, to sort of check it out that way. And a couple of tribute singers caught our attention, and we started there. We thought we'll start really close, and we went, tried a few of them, and we were like, well, that's just too close. And we wanted to get away from there already was a Steve Perry, so we didn't need another one, And so we really wanted someone that had their own sound, but could still pull off the Journey experience. And when Arnell's, videos came up, we just couldn't resist. We thought this was crazy and different, and we rolled the dice on him. It was just something that was out of left field, and we thought, what have we got to lose? No one else would do this. But we believed in him. Once we met him and he came over, and we fell in love with the guy, the heart of the guy, and so not only was he a wonderful voice, but he was a great man, and he added a lot to our, I think, when you find out his story, you can't help but, really love what he did with his life. So he makes us better from his life experience, So he's a real deal guy. He's a real stand-up dude, and has a foundation for the Hungry Kids and Soul Teens, and he's been there and back, homeless and hungry and left in the streets, and they hang him out to dry. He told me he wasn't going to sing again, and so he climbed back from a lot of obstacles, and that gives you a lot of character. And they made this documentary, Every Man's Country, Ramona Diaz, and that speaks for itself. I think it's going to be a big hit next year in the film house, art houses, and he's got a great story. And like I said, he's been a clutch guy. When the big shows and it's on the line, he delivers. When we do Oprah, he's there. We do Ellen DeGeneres, he's there. I mean, he knows how to make it right. And he's kind of grown into these shoes that he brought. So he takes his own shoes on stage now. He doesn't feel like he's filling anyone else's. So.
And the song Faithfully, that's the one you wrote yourself, right?
Yes.
And sort of one is, such a rock ballad that's, really, still stands the test of time over all these years. And so I'm curious, what the story is behind the song, or what how you came to write that one.
I, conceptually just felt like it would be really cool. I noticed the crew in the band all had to sacrifice quite a lot to go on the road and do these things, these tours, And they were missing their loved ones. And I noticed them on their phones talking to their wives and their girlfriends and bringing their kids out. And I thought it would be great to have a song we could all salute our loved ones, everyone. And how tough it is to be away from your loved ones, So I sort of wrote that for all of us. The riggers, the lighting guys, the PA guys, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, all of them who sacrificed their home life to be on the road. At the end of the day, we have to say to our significant other, I'm forever yours faithfully. I just thought it was a good thing. Right. It was just a no-brainer. What would Springsteen say, right? And I'm a big Bruce fan from the old days, and so I channeled a lot of Bruce when I was back in those days, because he was such an influence on my songwriting, So I wanted to have something, and it was great because the song turned around when we finally played it live, that they were bringing signs into the concert saying, "We're forever yours faithfully." So our fans are great. They took it as like we wrote it about them as well. So it had a double entendre, so it was really fun. but, you know, again, the song surpassed any of my wildest dreams, you know. And Perry sang such a wonderful vocal on it, and it was the last song to be recorded on the Frontiers. So it was a last-minute thing, you know. You hear the stories about, well, one more ballad. So that was the last ballad we did. Never played it at rehearsal, never rehearsed it, 3 takes, and that's what you got. That's all that band was, quite a band. It's like flying with the Blue Angels.
So when the band sort of went its separate ways, did you think that was it, or did you think that there would be a reunion? I
would hope there would be a reunion, but Steve was reluctant, you know, with his health situation. He was really fighting, you know, some serious health issues. It really sort of set him back, you know, and there was just no going forward. So Neil, we waited maybe 2 years, from 87 to 89, nothing, and then, you know, we did nothing, and Bad English happened, and then, of course, Steve called us in 96, and we did Trial by Fire. We waited we would have made an album. We were supposed to go on tour, and then he had more health issues. And these were serious ones and physically impairing.
So I understand that another project that's close to your heart right now is winemaking. You're making.
Yeah, I do a little 300 case a year thing with my friend Dennis Della Montagna. And we have a label called Finale, finale.com, and I do a Pinot every year. We do about, 80 cases of Pinot and anywhere from 100 to 200 cases of Cabernet Sauvignon. So I'm learning constantly, from other winemakers and the techniques that they use. So it's another crazy thing I like to do.
And are there links between making wine and making music, or is it again totally separate?
Yeah. We both begin with the end in mind, and I find that the winemakers are soulful people that inspire me. They start with the dirt and the plant material, and they end up with making art in a glass, And we have some lyrics and some chords, and we try to make something memorable, and very similar. We have setbacks and. You have all kinds of things you have to deal with, and so it's really, marketing, the brand, all of it. It's very similar. So we're looking constantly for the parallels. I do anyway,
Right.
All right, well, we're looking forward to playing in Atlantic City, and,
Gotcha.
It'll be a new venue for us and a new challenge.